Good morning everyone and welcome to the beautiful southern Utah desert. Let me show you around, show you the surrounding areas here, and I'll tell you what I'm up to on this trip. First of all, I'm in the Yukon for this trip. This trip will be about 2 weeks long. It's going to be probably 6 SUV RVing videos, and beautiful area. I'm in Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument. This is probably the best national monument in the United States as far as I'm concerned. Just a ton of really beautiful and interesting things to see, things to do. Just lifetimes of adventures you can have in this national monument. I'm going to be going on a hike today. The hike starts somewhere right here, goes off in this direction. So first of all, I'm filming with a new lens here today. This is an 18 to 150 millimeter lens. So it's fairly wide on the wide end, but it has really good zoom. Let me test it out here really quick and show it to you. Here's the Yukon off in the distance, and here it is zoomed in a little bit more. And by a little bit more, I mean the full zoom of this camera. So hopefully it'll help me get some more interesting shots. So from this promontory here, I have a great view of this canyon. This is called Sidestep Canyon. I think that's an unofficial name for it. Beautiful white rock. Really neat little rock formations down in here that I'll be walking through because I'm gonna head down into the canyon. I think I go down right here and then gonna follow it out until where it meets with the main larger dry wash out here. And we'll continue to see some other really neat stuff out that way. As I descend down through this canyon here, there's not really a trail or even a path that I'm following. Occasionally I'll find a worn path that is an obvious sign that other people have gone this way, but then I lose it again just as quickly. And so basically I'm just trying to make my way in this direction as efficiently as possible. The issue is that I'm running into a lot of drop-offs, a lot of little cliffs, a lot of little dry falls where I can't just go down. I have to skirt around it. And I think that actually might just get worse and worse as I try to get down this canyon here. I think I need to adjust my plan because again, if I tried to follow the bottom here all the way out, I don't know, it took me all day to walk a mile. So I think I'm going to try to stay above the bottom here, outside of it. If I really need to, I can go up over to the rim over here, or maybe over here. Oh, this is cool. Check out these wild little formations here. Anyway, I might have to escape and go above and along there before going back down, but I don't know. Let's try to stick to the side here. Okay, well, first of all, that's neat. Second of all, I think it's to the point now where I do need to get back down into the actual bottom of this little canyon here. It looks from here on out, the canyon bottom itself looks doable. So the question is, how do I get down there? I think, yeah, I can even see can see footprints down in there. So that's the way to go. I think, let's see, I think I can somehow get down here, maybe go, yeah, down this way, over, scramble down to the bottom of the dry wash, the dry stream bed, and follow it on out to freedom. And I realized that I actually, once I get out to the main canyon out here, I actually need to go up and over this to the next canyon to get to where I want to go. I knew that when I was planning this trip, but I kind of forgot about that in the days since. So let's just focus on getting out of here, and then I can focus on getting up and over. But first, yeah, gotta get down. You just gotta watch your step and be aware of what you're stepping on. Some of this is solid rock. This is all sandstone, by the way. But some of it is dirt and mud, basically. So you gotta make sure, if you're trusting your well-being to a foothold here, that it's rock and not dirt. And I made it to the sandy bottom of the canyon. This is looking up the canyon. Really, really neat rock. And this is looking down the canyon, the direction that I'm headed in. I find this type of hiking much more satisfying than just hiking on a well-worn trail. It's very satisfying to have to choose your own adventure to some extent. I mean, in some areas, yes, there are footprints I can follow, but basically I'm just going in the general direction that I'm interested in heading toward, and following what looks to me like the path of least resistance, the most aesthetic path also. And yeah, it's more time consuming than just following a trail, but this is way better. This is hiking. This is great. All right, I've emerged from Sidestep Canyon. This is where I just came from. And I'm now in this main wash, this main canyon that goes this way. The goal is to get up and over the rim of this main canyon, but over here looks a bit impossible because of those cliffs. And I can't see from here what it's like over here. I'll climb up this rise, see if that looks possible. If not, this over here looks doable. This slope is less cliffy. There is, by the way, in this area, a lot of this stuff. So this goes by a few different names. Some people call it cryptobiotic soil. Some call it the biological soil crust. It's basically this darker soil that's in these funny little formations. Here's my hand for scale. It's crunchy if you step on it, and that's how you know that you shouldn't be stepping on it. So this is actually living crust. And so if you are in an area with this stuff, it's best to not walk on it because it can take decades to recover. So you want to walk in sandy areas like this little dry wash that I've been walking down, or the main dry wash out here. I'm going to keep going up this way along this little sandy natural path up to the cliffs here. You really want to avoid walking on this stuff whenever possible. Whew. Okay, so I made it up this way. This again is Sidestep Canyon. That's where I came out of. And I went up this way. I'm now on this flat part. And I need to go cross country to go over here. But I just noticed a couple of things. There were some people across the canyon from me right there. And also, I wouldn't have noticed this if it hadn't been for its shadow, but look at this long, skinny little spire right there. It's probably 50 or 75 feet tall, if I had to guess. These beautiful, skinny little rocky towers or spires are called hoodoos in general. And I think probably Bryce Canyon National Park, also here in southern Utah, is the best known example of those. I mean, you can drive to viewpoints where you can see thousands and thousands of hoodoos down below you. The ones in this area, you can call them hoodoos, but the ones that have that cap rock on top, like there's a rock on top and then a skinnier column of softer rock underneath it, these are called toadstools. So this area today, and kind of the theme of today, is seeing as many of these really interesting little spires, these little hoodoos, these toadstools as we can. Well, after about 15 minutes of crossing the plateau behind me, I've reached the next canyon here. That's the good news. The bad news is that, well, let me show you. It is just straight down into the canyon here. Just solid sheer cliffs to the right and to the left. I do see a slope kind of behind this hoodoo right here, this slope here. I'm gonna head over there and maybe I can go down that slope. If not, I'll just keep going up, keep going to the left until I find a spot where it's safe to drop down into this next canyon here. Well, the first area I wanted to check out is a no-go. Extremely steep cliffs over here too. So I'm going to keep going to the left, keep going up canyon, see if anything up there looks better. There are a couple of people. Let's see if I can find them for you. See those people down there? Heading toward these hoodoos. Man, I gotta find out how to get down there. I gotta figure this out. This area here is fairly popular and well known. There is a trailhead down the wash this way, and that's how most people access this area that I'm trying to get to. I don't know if people routinely access this area the way that I did, but I wanted to try it. I wanted to combine those two areas of hoodoos, those two interesting geological areas, into one trip here. Hopefully it works out for me, but I'm starting to have doubts. No, that's not true. I know I'll be able to get down eventually. It's just, how long will it take for me to follow the rim of the canyon here? Well, it turns out not very long. I think I found a weakness in the cliffs. So, this is the area I came from. Look at this. I think I can follow this ramp down. Look at these just amazing hoodoos. I think this is one of the main ones right here in this area. Just defying gravity here. It's amazing. But yeah, I think I can just scramble down the ridge to that cluster of towers. Look at this one over here. It looks like the cap rock that was on this one has fallen off. Okay, let's head down. By the way, I've been wearing these shirts in my videos more and more. These are just lightweight, thin, synthetic, basically like hiking and workout shirts. I love them because it means I don't have to put sunscreen on my neck and my ears. I got these off of Amazon. I've got 6 or 8 of them now. I really like them. They're only about $20 or $25 each. I'll put a link to them in the video description if you want to check them out. Well, here we are in this garden of hoodoos here, this cluster of hoodoos. This one really takes the cake. This is just amazing. I mean, look at that. Look at the texture of that white rock, that white earth leading up to that precariously perched cap rock. What a gorgeous sight. By the way, this area is called the Wahweap Hoodoos. Wahweap is a Native American word, a Paiute word, I think, meaning bitter water. This canyon is called a Wahweap Canyon behind me here. These are also called the White Ghost Hoodoos, which I think is also an appropriate name. So this one is, I think, the most popular and photogenic here, but there are lots of others. Beautiful, beautiful ones. These look like natural offerings. Like, these look like little plinths. These are little sacrifices being offered to the geology gods. What a beautiful and unique place. So the way these things form is that these little cap rocks here, 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 over here, these are boulders that are a harder rock. And those come from that layer up there. And those boulders land on the earth, and they keep the earth underneath them from being worn away by rain and water and other erosion forces. So they're basically like an umbrella protecting the ground underneath them. So everything else gets worn away. All of this has been worn away. All of this has been worn away to just leave these spectacular columns. There are 3 little groups of these hoodoos in this area, 3 clusters of Wahweap hoodoos. This is the 3rd one. The other 2 are further down the wash here, down the canyon. So let's go check those out. Well, that didn't take very long, just 3 minutes down the trail here, down the canyon. We've got group number 2. Let's go exploring. And check this out. This is erosion on a micro scale here. There's a mini natural arch right here. Looks like this harder layer of sandstone was across a natural crack in the rock. Then over the centuries, over the maybe thousands of years, I don't know, water has flown through that crack, making it deeper and creating this little hole, this little natural bridge over that crack in the rock. So that's it for groups 3 and 2 of hoodoos. Let's go, I think, just around the corner again to group number 1. And after that, we'll retrace our steps, hightail it back to the car. So group number 1 here is a little bit more condensed than the other 2, but I think that this large hoodoo here might be the largest that I've seen in this area. Yeah, this one, definitely the biggest one I've seen today. This little one off to the side isn't nearly as big. Still impressive though. What a great day to be out here. The weather is good, it's warm, it's probably 55 or 60 degrees right now. I haven't seen anyone down here since I've been wandering the Hoodoos. Certainly not complaining. I'm gonna stop filming now. Actually, there is one thing I wanted to show you, wanted to investigate over here, so I guess let me go back over there and then I'll wrap up this part of the video. Okay, so from here, when I was here about an hour and a half ago, I was looking up at that cliff behind the Hoodoos here, and I noticed what looks like a natural arch. It's hard to tell here, but I think that, let's see, where's my finger? This part right here, there are these kind of blocky rocks, and it looks like behind that there's an opening, there's a gap, there's a little natural arch. So, I'm gonna hike back up the way I came down. So I came down just up or down this slope right here. So I'm gonna go back up that way to here, see if I can find that little arch. Well, I found it. I'm above the spire there, and here are the two boulders kind of next to each other, wedged together here in this larger slot. And you can see the open air right behind this one. And there's also open air behind this one. The original plan was to go stand on this, but I don't know, they're pretty precarious looking. So just to give you an idea of the size of this here, I'll go stand on the, what I hope is solid ground right here and peer over the side here. The gap here is probably, I mean, it's pretty long. 10 feet, maybe that way. Only a couple feet wide, but it is long. I think that's as close as I'm gonna get to committing my weight and my life to this thing. Feels really good to be back home, back in the car. The weather is nice, there's a nice breeze, so I've just been sitting in the car for the last half hour or so, relaxing and eating. I just ate an entire container of pineapple, just drank a full can of Spindrift sparkling water with lemon. These are from Costco, so good. If you like sparkling water. If you don't, then they're disgusting, but I do like sparkling water, so I thought it was tasty. I tracked that entire hike with the Gaia app on my phone. It was 6.89 miles total, took 4 hours, 51 minutes, with about 800 feet of elevation gain. Not crazy numbers, like less than 7 miles, that's not especially long for a hike. It was just slow going, you know? It's pretty easy to hike 7 miles when it's flat and there's a trail for you to follow, but when it's up and down and you're kind of finding your own way, it takes a little bit more out of you. And this is the the first adventure day of this trip. I've spent the last couple days getting here, and this is the first real day of the trip, and so let's just take it easy, you know? No need to rush things. No need to try to see everything on one trip. I think the plan now is to drive toward where I'm gonna be tomorrow. There's, by the way, one other car at the trailhead here. I saw a couple other guys on the trail not too long ago. I think the plan is to drive a couple hours this way, north, and then, yeah, just set myself up for what I wanna do tomorrow. And I'm gonna just enjoy being at camp today. I've got some work stuff to do, and I just wanna relax a little bit. You know, these trips are usually pretty taxing, pretty tiring for me because I see and do a lot of stuff and I love it, but it's also nice to just relax a little bit, you know? Nothing wrong with that. So that's the plan for the rest of the day. Got lots of miles of dirt driving ahead of us. Let's get to it. Okay guys, so I'm standing in front of something here that I just kind of stumbled across. I didn't know this was here. I don't really know the history behind it or anything, but I thought I would show you. It's kind of interesting. It is a little cinder block cabin. Now this is not private land, this is public land. We're still in Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument. I have already gone inside here just to make sure that there weren't dead bodies inside or anything, so let's show it to you. I didn't really take a look around, though. Kind of creepy. Kind of cool. We've got a stove in the corner over here. Looks like a homemade stove. I'm guessing all of this stuff in here is homemade. I think this is, I mean, I've seen people use these to hang guns or fishing rods off of, so I'm guessing that's what that is. Several disgusting mattresses, a couple of bunk beds, some chairs. Interesting. Let me show you the little front porch here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it says constructed December 1995. So that's what, 26 and a half years old. It was constructed by just a bunch of people, lots of names here. And at the bottom it says, leave it as you found it. Now I could be wrong, but I believe in 1995 this was not yet a national monument. It was just BLM land. And so, yeah, some people came out here and I believe illegally built this cabin, and still there, still in use, I guess. Nice views from here, looking out over this mostly dry wash. There's a little, looks like a corral right here. This cabin here is off of a couple different side roads. I went down one of these roads looking for campsites. There are campsites around here, but not feeling inspired. I'd like to find a different spot. And I still have daylight, so I might as well keep driving even closer to the spot that I'll be going to tomorrow. So let's hop back in the car, say goodbye to the creepy cabin here. I don't think I'm gonna keep recording. I'm just gonna get back in the car, hit the road, and then I'll start recording again once I find a campsite. And I have finally found a great campsite. There are several places that I could have camped at, but this one I like more than any of those. I mean, the campsite itself is, you know, whatever, it's fine. But the view is killer. Pretty darn awesome. It'd be even better if my windows were clean. This one you can see out of all right, but this one is pretty dirty. And so this is home for the night. Great spot, great view, great day. I'm really happy. As far as what I'm going to do for the rest of the night, relax and catch up on some journaling, take notes on what I did and saw today, and really just enjoy this view. I love this. Let me scoot down a little bit so I can see out better. But yeah, great day. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite part was. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.